everyone, welcome to another episode of Inspired Moment with Jumoke. My name is Jumoke Olagunju, and this program is powered by the Inspired Design School of Fashion. Okay, we offer online classes in dressmaking, shoemaking, bag making. So if you need any of those classes, you can contact me on the number on the screen. Inspired Moment with Jumoke is a DIY program. Every week I upload videos on different kind of DIY projects, shoemaking, bag making, dressmaking, accessories. For the past few weeks, we've been learning how to do Ankara crafts using our leftover fabric. We've done the visor hat, we've done different kind of neck pieces, we've done the webbed collar piece. So if you miss any of these classes, try and go back to our channel on YouTube, the Inspired Design School of Fashion. You'll find the previous classes there, and try and subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of the classes. Also, I've created a channel. It's like a group on Telegram. It's called Inspire Moment with Jumoke, where I have all these videos, and you can also get to interact and ask your questions. Finally, I would love to see what you've been learning. So if you've learned anything so far in any of my classes, please share with us on our Facebook group, the Inspired Design School of Fashion. So today, like I said, we'll be learning how to make the bonnet, earrings, and hairpiece. So we have a lot to do. Let's get to the drafting table. We're going to start with the wrapped earring. So for that, you're going to need, well, you can use any shape you want, but this circle one is much more popular, and this is actually an old one that I've used. And it doesn't matter whether it's clean or not, because I'm going to be wrapping it with my fabric. And you can use any size you want. You can make yours bigger than this. The one I'm wearing is actually bigger than this. Then we'll need strip of fabric, and I've ironed it on both sides this way. Okay, you don't want your fabric to be too wide, so this is just like 1.5 inches, maximum 2 inches. And I'm going to use my glue gun. You can actually use any kind of fabric glue. You can use UHU. I'm going to start wrapping from the tip. Basically, what I'm doing is just wrapping it with this fabric, and then I'm just going to add my glue at the beginning like that. Make sure that the pin at the end is not covered with your fabric, because that is the part that you will insert into the piercing in your hair. So just continue to wrap it, and occasionally you add your gum just to hold it down. It's leaving a little bit open, then we'll fold it in and apply our gum to seal it. And our earring is set. So we are done with the first set of earring. Then we'll go to the next one. We're still going to be using this circle earrings. It's quite bigger than the smaller one, so you can use any size you want also. So for this one, we'll need a strip of fabric that is like this is like 2.5 inches by 7 inches, but the width will depend on how wide your earring is. You have to put it around the earring. Make sure that it wraps around the circle this way, with a little bit left over for stitching. So it wraps around the earring with this a little bit left over for stitching. So, and the edges are folded in, the edges. So this is one that I have stitched. You stitch the sides, then insert your earring into it. Then we're going to need another strip of fabric. So I'm just going to use some of my leftover one. You don't have to stitch it, you can just fold it. Then this now I'll turn the joining to the center and then decide where I want my back to be. You know, there's a way you insert the earring. Usually it comes this way, so my back should be somewhere around here. I'll make sure that the rough edges are folded in. Then I'll take this piece now and use it to, you know, fold it to create a sweet shape, or what do they call this kind of shape. So if you want, you can make your own wider, as in the strip of fabric wider than this a little bit for a fuller effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. If you don't have a glue, you can easily stitch it. Just make sure that it's neat. Okay, so it's as simple as that. I'm going to fold the edge in so that we don't have any rough piece, and then glue it. And our earring is done. So this is the second earring. Finally, we're going to do the hairpiece. I'll complete this other one. Now for the earpiece, we're going to need hair clip, or you can use a pin. If you want, you can also use, if you want to, you make it an hairband. So you just get the elastic for the band. Then you're going to cut your strip of fabric, and very stiff stay, and interfacing that will give it stiffness. You can see that as I'm folding, the African print is kind of stiff. You cannot use padding wording or whatever for this, because even though it will give it stiffness, it's not going to be, how do I put it, it will make it bulky but not really stiff. So I have here like 13.5 inches by 5.5. So I'm going to fold it into two, then stitch all around it, leaving a little space to turn it out. So once I turn it out, I stop stitch on all over the pieces. So let's quickly do that, then we'll move on to the final stage. Okay, so we have this. Now I'm just going to scrunch it, and just like we did for the earrings, we're going to use a band. All these things are very easy, but if you don't know, you're just seeing it, you may think it's complicated. Wow, I bumped myself. Okay, once you have the right material, because if you do not use the right kind of interfacing, it will not give you this kind of results. And this interfacing is a little bit more expensive than the regular one. Okay, then we'll take our earpiece, first. Let me just add a little bit of glue. But I'm going to secure it more firmly with my band. So you're just going to, I'm sorry, the way I'm standing is not so convenient, because I'm trying to do this and at the same time make sure that you can see it. So I should lift my hand up for it to be convenient. All right, so that's just it. We'll wrap it around and we are done. So that's it for the ear clip and our earrings. For the bonnet, we're going to be needing 2 circles, and the radius you use will depend on how big you want your hat or your the cap to be. I've made an extra large one that is like 14 inches, but for this one I'm using just 11 inches to make my circle. And I've made 2 pieces, the African print and the other one from the satin. So now I'm going to place it on top of each other, right side on right side. Then go to the sewing machine and take like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch all around. But you leave like 2 inches open here to turn it out. So we'll quickly do that, then show you the next step. I've stitched the circles together and I've turned it to the right side through this opening. So after turning it, before you close the opening also, you're going to stitch a channel, like 1/2 inch channel. You may not be able to see because I have to use matching thread. So like 1/2 inch channel for your 1/2 inch elastic. This is not even up to 1/2 inch for the elastic to pass through. So I've stitched the channel. Then you're going to take maybe your safety pin and pass the elastic through. Now your elastic, the length of the elastic will be determined by the edge circumference. Multiply your edge circumference by 0.85, so you get this the length of the elastic you need. For me is like 18.5. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for stitching it together. So this is the elastic I'll be passing through. Once you pass the elastic through, you're going to close this part and your cap is ready, your bonnet is ready. This is the extra large that I made. This is 14 inches instead of 11 inches. Okay, so once you've passed the elastic, I've passed the elastic in this one, and it's reversible. You can use the Ankara part and you can use the satin part. So once you've done that, you just pull it like this, turn the rough edges inside and stitch on top. That's how to close your rough edge. And with that, we've come to the end of today's class. Bye. Thank you for joining us.